And just as you thought you got a lucky break, well, here comes Athena to fight you along with Lambda. And here's a fun little fact about this part in Hard Gold and Soul Silver. You're gonna see Lance pop in soon, and it's actually a double battle, you and Lance versus Lambda and Athena. And I've heard that Lance's Dragonite in this fight is level 40. So if you thought he was cheating bad with a level 50 Dragonite before, well, you got another thing coming. It's level 40 now! And one thing that's annoying with this scene is that you don't know which one of the two is talking because neither of them had any names back then. But I'm gonna assume that it's Athena because it just makes more sense that way, since Lambda's looking at Dragonite and Lance and all. Okay, so now this, instead of a double battle though, this is two separate one-on-one battles. So I'm only going to fight Athena here. And her lineups looks to be a bit more interesting than Lambda's with an Arbok. Never mind the fact that Arbok still sucks, but at least it's fully evolved. Thank you very much. And Ice Punch does it in once again. Murkrow, well, easy pickings for Ice Punch, but now I'm going to send out Typhlosion to keep my levels relatively even. And by the way, I kept the Lapras in the box because I wanted to have my two HM slaves. See that whole rotation thing that I was talking about? Well, that's it in action. So Thunder Punch downs that level 25 Murkrow in one hit. And you mean to tell me that I'm going to have a level 40 Dragonite to help me in Hard Gold and Soul Silver? That's like a 15 level advantage! Okay, Fire Punch on Bloom should do the trick, but yeah! I'm level 40, he's level 40, and they're level 25 or so! But one theory I've heard as to why Lance has such low-level Dragonites is that, well, you know those radio waves that are affecting the Magikarps in the Lake of Rage? Well, they got their way with Lance's Dragonairs as well, and that's how they evolved into Dragonite prematurely. But that's just a theory, that's non-canon, and that's probably not how it happened. It just sort of did happen for no reason, since, well, especially with that level curve in Gold, Silver, Crystal, there are a lot of illegal Pokemon, so to speak. I've faced my fair share of, like, level 16 Golbats and level 16 Arboks and that kind of stuff. You get the idea. So after Athena threatened me with her much bigger plans, which are, well, taking over the radio tower, then repeating the same thing on the air over and over and over again on every channel. Oh, and Lance is such a diplomat. Instead of saying, "Dude, you suck, I beat my cannon fodder executive a lot faster than you," he just said, "I saw how well you were doing, so I just hung back and enjoyed the show." Yeah, he could have been a lot more rude. And as a matter of fact, as we're going to find out a bit later in the game, those diplomacy skills do not, in fact, run in the family. So now we're going to have to kill a half-dozen Electrodes who are powering up this machine, and we're each going to take our side, but I'm going to try to see if I can steal Lance's thunder, quite literally, in fact, so Typhlosion in the lead. Let's see. Nope! He doesn't want me to get some free extra experience on final forms, but I guess 6 would get a little repetitive after a while. So I hadn't had time to talk much about Rayquaza in my last video, who got Air Slash. Well, there was much to say. It got Air Slash. It's got a very viable weapon in its arsenal. I almost flipped up and said weapon like in Full Life Consequences here. You probably might want to rewind that because you might notice it. But yeah, Air Slash is, well, it's got stab on it, and that 30% chance of flinching is going to be very handy, what with Rayquaza's very interesting speed by Uber standards. And as for Dialga, Palkia, and Giratina, well, they got the expected Metal Burst, Hydro Pump, and Shadow Sneak, but Dialga and Palkia also got Power Gem. on top of that. Now this would be a little interesting for Palkia, you know, for nailing that quadruple weakness of moves, except for the fact that Surf is already stronger anyway against Who. By the way, the only reason I'm even talking about Who is because its Brave Bird is gonna hurt like hell. But yeah, do the math. Power Gem, 70 power times 4, 280. Surf, 95. Multiply that by 1.5 for stab, that's 142.5. Multiply that by 2 for the weakness, that's 285. 5 more power, and no move slot wasted. But back to the game, he's going to give me... what is it? Please, I don't have any need for it. Oh, it's the HM for Whirlpool. So, yep. I'm going to be able to go to the Whirl Islands, but only after I beat Prize. And I'm not going to go there right after I beat Prize, because then the Team Rocket's going to take over the radio tower, and I want to save Buena as soon as possible so that her minigame will come back on the air ASAP, because I still want more rare candies for prepping myself up for the fight against Red. So right now, well, I say right now, after Lance shuts up, please, well, I am going to head back to Route 30 because someone reminded me that the red scale that I obtained from the shiny Gyarados can be traded in at Mr. Pokemon's house for an experience share. So I'm going to head there right now. Not that I need the experience share for the time being, but it's still more loot, and it's certainly more useful than a red scale sitting around doing nothing in my key item pocket. So now Psyduck is going to learn Whirlpool, and Tail Whip is the last non-HM move that it has, so there we go. Now, once I arrive in Blackthorn, I'm going to have to delete Surf to make room for Waterfall, but okay, right now I am flying to Violet City, so yeah, there's a move deleter in Blackthorn, especially for that kind of problem, and they added a move relearner in the same place in Hard Gold and Soul Silver, by the way. So, yeah, of course I'm going to need to delete Surf, and once I do that, that means I'm going to be forced to have either Lapras or Suicune in my party at all times, which isn't a very big sacrifice to make because both are very kick-ass Pokemon. Thank you very much. Okay, still collecting berries, and as far as collecting items go in games, I am a pathological item collector. As I said in the movie description for a recent video, this is most apparent when I play Super Mario Galaxy. I'm a complete Starbit-aholic. Whenever I see a Starbit, even if it's miles and miles away, I just gotta point that Wiimote at it, and I won't stop until I get them all, and at that point, there are more that fall from the sky, and that's why it takes forever for me to complete that game. Starbit! Yay! Well, at least I have a lot of them in stock when it comes to feeding hungry Lumas, because near the end of the game, those go away pretty fast. So now I'm back at the Lake of Rage to see if maybe this guy will give me a fishing rod, super rod, please? Please? Dream seems the world's largest Magikarp. No? Do you have a rod? No? He's not giving me one? You're not giving me the super rod? Well then who's supposed to give it to me? Well, I imagine it's someone in Blackthorn because I visited every other city in the world. So, with that out of the way, I'm going to check. Yep, the trainers that are supposed to be here are here. They weren't here back when Team Rocket was messing with the lake, but now that everything's back to normal, the trainers are back, so I'm going to beat them. And after that, before moving on to the gym, I'm going to check out if that guy is still blocking Route 44, and I'm gonna go beat the trainers there as well before going to the gym. So, in the end, I wanted to talk about the new moves Pokemon got, but I only covered Ubers so far, so I guess I'm going to have to delay the bulk of this conversation a little while longer. So next time, I'm actually going to focus on the others this time. Nope, it's not a rematch. Such a shame. So, see ya sometime this weekend, probably.